Thankfully, I did not get the memo to sing to you, so you don't have to hear that today. A reading from the scriptures of Ecclesiastes. For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born, and a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to throw away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to throw away, a time to tear, and a time to sow, a time to keep silent, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time for war, and a time for peace. Here ends the reading.
And so, music is the voice of love. Music is the voice of the Spirit. And when we were thinking of a theme, we chose Seasons of the Spirit because music as the voice of Spirit is what holds our joy and pain together. It threads times of joy and pain together, and in all the seasons of our life and our lives together, love is what holds it all. I could never remember the words to songs, popular songs on the radio. For whatever reason, it would never register for me. And recently a friend was teasing me saying, Brendan is an encyclopedia of dirges and folk songs from the 1300s. For whatever reason, my musical knowledge, and some folk songs from the 60s and 70s maybe, but even though I was born in 1984, my musical knowledge seems to stop at Madonna. Madonna is like modern music. And what I realized is I remember songs and music when I see people I love singing those songs. And where I discovered my love for music and where I started remembering the words to songs was in the session. And the traditional Irish music session. And to me, the traditional Irish music session illustrates the way music is the voice of love, and the way music is the heartbeat of love and the heartbeat of community, and illustrates how it is love, it is the spirit of life that is bigger and larger and vast and open and capable of holding and expressing our joy as well as our pain, and strengthening us in our capacity to infuse beauty, celebrate the beauty of joy, and also somehow touch the beauty and the depth even within our pain. Music has the power to do that and create community and celebrate our unity in diversity when we give ourselves to it. The first time I went to a session, I didn't even know I was at a session. I was walking around, probably not that much longer after I learned how to talk, wandering around a crowded pub, and in the circle, in the corner of a pub, there would be a great circle of musicians of all different kinds, violins and concertinas and uilleann pipes and harps and this one, the boron. And gradually I I would be naturally drawn with everybody else to this circle of live musicians, and you would see the expressions on the faces of the musicians. And everyone had a chance. In a session, everyone has a chance to share and offer their song. And then the rest of the circle supports the music and the offering that the individual is making. It is a circle of belonging where we see and express through music our unity in diversity, our diversity in our union, and in the many different sounds we make together, and the one sound we make together, and the many different sounds we make as individuals have their weight and their respect and their fullness and their life. But also the interesting thing about the session is in one moment, there might be a funny song or a happy song, and you hear the frenetic sound of the flute and some joyful deedle-didling melody. And then you might hear, the drumming picks up, and then when the drumming happens, all of a sudden, you see a woman get inspired and clatter across the floor with her percussive dance. It's ecstatic. And so in a moment, you'll experience and witness this ecstatic joy, and then in the very next, someone will start singing Roisin Dubh. So one moment people are singing happily to the sack of potatoes. There is a song called The Sack of Potatoes. And then in the next moment, someone is singing Roisin Dubh, which is a war ballad about how someone lost their beloved. And it's a love song to the earth herself. And so one moment in the session, people are laughing and joyful, and then in the next moment, everyone's crying in their beer, which probably explains my family and some things about me. But music and spirit has the capacity to hold all of it, and the music gives strength and redeems all of the experiences, the joyful ones, the painful ones, and everything in between. It is the heartbeat of life that brings us together. And it all happens in a circle. And so it's appropriate on Music Sunday that we are in a big circle together. I love how on Music Sunday, the choir is up here and we see how we are a circle. We see and remember, and most importantly, we sing and hear how we are one circle of belonging, united in love. And we remember and we see and we hear and remember that love is the spirit of life that threads all of our experiences together and connects us with our eternal heartbeat. Amen.